What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Wildcat Cave. It is rivalry week, and that means here in Kentucky, it is U of L hate week. Louisville is Kentucky's biggest rival. It's an in-state rival, and everybody in the state does not like Louisville unless you live in the city of Louisville. Across the state, you might find some people that don't necessarily hate Tennessee, especially in southern Kentucky, but overall, everybody hates Louisville, and we are going to break down this matchup and tell you what the Cats need to do to win this game. Before we get into that, though, make sure you stop now down in the comments section and comment your prediction and the correct winner for this game so you have a chance at a shout out. Also, before we get into it, guys, this channel has gone a little stale. It's not growing at the rate that it once was. So make sure, if you are not already, to subscribe and blow up this video. Let's keep this channel growing. I know that there's more than 500 UK fans out there. We can keep growing this channel. I would really appreciate it, and you guys will be able to get in on all the action here at Wildcat Cave. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and comment your prediction down below. The closest person will get a shout out. Now, getting into the video. First things first, congratulations to Darrell MVP 24 on his prediction for the New Mexico State game. He predicted 52-14. The final score is 56-16, so he was almost dead on. Congratulations. Make sure you, along with everybody else, comment your prediction for the winner and the score down below of the Louisville game so you get a chance at a shout out as well. Now moving into Louisville. Like I did with Tennessee, I am not going to give Louisville any tips on how to win this game other than I'm going to tell you why they are so bad as a program, as a team, as an athletic department, and why overall the Louisville Cardinals suck. First things first are their fans don't even support them. Pretty much all season we've seen that they have checked out of being interested in this team and in this university. They can't even come close to a sellout at any of their games. They've had primetime games on national TV against decent opponents and cannot come close to selling out. Kentucky has sold out 3 or 4 games this season. I believe it's 4 games Kentucky has sold out without even having to do promotions or trying, just because the fans have bought in so much to this football team, and Louisville struggles to get half attendance. If you're a program and your fans don't support you, you're not going to be relevant very long. Next is all of the scandals. At this point, the FBI basically has a unit on campus at Louisville. There's always something happening there. At this point, maybe this is why the fans are so checked out, because they're just tired of getting embarrassed. But between the Hooker scandal, the Adidas scandal, the Dino Gaudio, Chris Mack scandal, and on top of the big ones, you always hear of smaller stuff happening that may or may not pan out to anything. Most of them haven't, but still, name another program in the country that's had 3 major scandals in the past 7-8 years. You're not going to find one. Louisville is just ran like New York City in the 60s and 70s by the mob. It's just organized crime everywhere at this university. Next is their coaches are so embarrassing. Every time you hear from them, it's just another embarrassing thing. It started with the Chris Mack video, taunting Calipari, him and the ex-player making their little whatever video where the guy in the background's yelling and Chris Mack's running his mouth. And then he comes out and tries to put his best friend and assistant coach Dino Gaudio in federal prison. Federal prison because he wanted his money. I mean, in no way was that extortion, and he still tried to send a guy that has been with him forever to federal prison. What kind of person is... You guys hung a sign on the interstate that stayed up for multiple days that said, "Fire Chris Mack." He's been there like 2 years. And on top of all that, now you have Scott Satterfield on the verge of getting fired every year until he beats Duke. And then he wants to come out and taunt Kentucky and say strength of schedule. Look at the updated strength of schedules. Kentucky is vastly, vastly ahead of Louisville in strength of schedule, and it's not close. Next is that you guys have to give tickets away. You're offering cheap beer, cheap concessions for primetime games where you should be raising prices on stuff because you're going to have so many people there. but instead you have to lower them so you can hopefully get somebody in the seats. You're offering extra tickets to season pass holders, hoping they have friends that actually like Louisville. And overall, the stadium is literally covered in mold because you can't get anybody to come and wear the mold off or sit in the seats. How embarrassing can it get when a program has mold growing in their seats from a lack of use? And finally, for Louisville, this is barely even a rivalry anymore. UK has owned both sports, especially in recent memory. Basketball goes back a little farther than football, but Kentucky still owns the record in Cardinal Stadium. I believe they're up 8-7 at Cardinal Stadium. And really, this has caused Louisville fans to lose interest in this rivalry, and honestly, that's sad because this was such a fun rivalry, and now it's less fun because the university has been in shambles. There's scandals everywhere, and the fans are just sick of it, and they don't want to support that anymore. You're more than welcome to hop on the UK bandwagon, but I wish this rivalry would be stronger than it is right now. Now moving on to Kentucky. What do they have to do to go to Louisville and get the win and finish the regular season 9-3? First things first, we can't have turnovers. Chris Rodriguez has to find a way to work these turnovers out, stop fumbling the ball, especially around the goal line. We can't have that in this game. It's been a harping point all season, but he's got to get this figured out like now. This is something that cannot continue. Will Levis doesn't need to force anything. They don't have a good defense, so there is no reason to give them any sort of free possessions in this game. Just be methodical, stay in the pocket, keep your footwork under control, deliver catchable balls, and don't force anything into coverage. It's okay to throw things out of bounds here. Next is you're going to have to contain Malik Cunningham. He is a Walmart version of Lamar Jackson, and that's not a diss on him. He's a really good player. He really is. He's probably their only really good player, but he is really good. He's kind of like Hendon Hooker from Tennessee. And the thing with Malik is he is good at what UK struggles at stopping. So that is never a good thing. It's a good matchup for Louisville's offense against Kentucky's defense because Kentucky struggles when quarterbacks are able to move and run and get outside the pocket. So his strengths play right into Kentucky's weaknesses. If Kentucky wants to solidly handle Louisville, they're going to have to contain Malik Cunningham here. Next, don't waste any possessions. This kind of goes back to the turnover thing, but Louisville has the worst Power 5 defense we're going to play this year. And because of that, our goal should be to score on every single possession. That means no turnovers, make sure blocks, let Chris Rodriguez do his thing, average 7-8 yards a run, and just pound the ball down their throat. We should be able just to move the ball at will, and if you do that and you capitalize on your possessions, you're going to run away from this team. All your defense would need to do is get a stop or two in the game, and you will win as long as you don't waste any possessions. The defense just needs to try to stop anyone, stop the water boy, do something here on defense. If you're Kentucky's defensive backs, your mindset just has to be try and stop a few passes and make good tackles. Don't let them get yards after the catch. We know they're going to catch it on you. Just don't get beat deep and try to stop them somewhat. And finally for Kentucky, let's go and paint Cardinal Stadium blue. U of L is struggling to sell tickets even for their biggest rivalry game of the year. If you're available this Saturday and you can afford it, buy a ticket. You can get them pretty cheap. Wear blue and go embarrass Louisville on their home field. Turn the rival stadium blue and show Louisville who really owns this state. Moving on to some gambling stuff here. The spread right now is set at 2.5 in favor of Louisville. Now, typically Vegas will give a home team 3 points. They did not even give Louisville that, so Vegas probably believes that Kentucky is slightly the better team, but that since they are playing at Louisville, they gave Louisville the 2.5. I'm fine with that. I do think it's going to be a semi-close game, so I do have Kentucky covering the spread because I have them winning. If you're giving me Kentucky plus 2.5 points, I'm going to take that here. The money line is 130 positive for Kentucky and a minus 160 for Louisville. I'm going to take Kentucky on the money line, of course. And the over-under is set at 57.5. I think this game is going to be a track meet. I think this number is actually pretty low. I don't believe that each other's defense can stop the other's offense. I don't think Kentucky's going to be able to stop Malik Cunningham very effectively, and I know Louisville is not going to be able to stop Kentucky very well. So for that reason, I am taking the over here. Now, for my final prediction, I'm going to say Kentucky 42, Louisville 38. UK is the bigger, stronger, and more talented team. The defense does worry me some, but from what I've been able to tell, I believe that Kentucky has bought in more. I believe Mark Stoops wants it more. And overall, I think the better team gets the win here in a semi-close shootout. That is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching. It means so much. Make sure you are subscribed and blow up this video. It is rivalry week, so what would be better than all the Louisville fans to see this video? So make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. I know there's more than 580 UK fans out here on the YouTube. Subscribe. Make this the biggest Kentucky channel on YouTube. You can do it. I believe in us. I believe in Big Blue Nation. Make sure you comment your predictions down below as well so you get a chance at a shout out. And go freaking Cats. L's down. Beat Louisville this week.